What's going on, NBA fanatics? This is your friendly neighborhood Memphis Grizzly homer, Memphis X, and I talk hoops. Today, we're going to take a break from draft coverage, and we're going to talk about some NBA rumors, the thing that gets the NBA fans rolling, NBA rumors. And we're going to try to put a Grizzly spin on it. But first, every hero needs their theme music.
KeyAno.
Grizz gang, go hard. Yeah. Baddest in the game, we be on one. I talk hoops, so secure. All up on the court, but we gon' score. Memphis bringing heat straight from Tennessee. Demorant spiking, let's go.
Look at all these rumors surrounding me every day.
So the Grizzlies are well into their offseason right now. There hasn't really been anything going on, regarding the Grizzlies. We're, a day away from the NBA Finals beginning. And it's really been a slow time in Memphis Grizzly land. So I decided, maybe we'll go and look at some rumors that have been going around the NBA. So the first rumor that I wanted to get to was the rumor that OG Anunoby wants out of Toronto. As you can see, this was an article written by Jake Fisher of Bleacher Report. And it really focuses on OG Anunoby and the rumblings in the NBA that he might want out of Toronto. Now, this really has nothing to do with the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies aren't even mentioned in the article. However, OG Anunoby has always been one of my favorite fits for the Grizzlies. Even back before he signed his extension, I was sitting there hoping that he would go to restricted free agency and the Grizzlies could offer him a max contract. That's how much I liked OG Anunoby. So when I saw this, I was like, man, what if the Grizzlies can get involved? What if the Grizzlies can make an offer to Toronto and pry OG Anunoby away? Now, what would that offer look like for the Memphis Grizzlies? Now, if you don't know who OG Anunoby is, he is a 6'7", 230-pound wing in Toronto. He is an A-plus defender, very physical, can defend up and down. That's my big thing, somebody who can defend up and down. He's not quite the point of attack defender that Dillon Brooks is, but he's a better defender against bigs because of his size and his physicality. So he is one of that. He can also shoot. I think he shot about 36% from three-point range, and he can create a little bit. And I think that's kind of where the problem is for him in Toronto that was mentioned in the article, is he wants to explore his studio space. As they say, he wants to create a little bit more on the ball. And then when you got Fred VanVleet, Pascal Siakam, and the newly drafted Scotty Barnes, there's only so many reps that you can have with the ball in your hands, with those three guys. So as somebody who is 2 years away from his next payday, which will probably be his biggest payday, he probably wants to establish himself as a guy that can score in the NBA instead of just being a utility defender, 3-and-D type guy. So I can understand where it's coming from. This is nothing that's, this has been going on in the NBA since I've been covering it. Guys want to show what they can do in order for them to get paid appropriately as far as they are concerned. So what would I have the Grizzlies offering the Toronto Raptors? Now, I know that, there's a little bit that you can do. There might be a little bit of wiggle room. As you can see, my offer, DeAnthony Melton, Zaire Williams, Killian Tilly, who's in there just to make the salary matches, first-round pick in 22, a first-round pick in 24, and also I would offer the Golden State Warriors pick. So you're saying that's 3 picks, but the one pick is the 29th pick this year. Then you got 2 picks in 24, and then that kind of gets your obligation out the way. So and you're giving up DeAnthony Melton and Zaire Williams. So really, you're still left with Ja Morant, Desmond Bane, Dylan Brooks, OG Anunoby, and Jaren Jackson. You still have Steven Adams. You still have Brandon Clark. So you still have the basis of a good team. So other than the Warriors pick that we're going to give up, I wouldn't expect these picks to come back and bite us unless we are very, ravaged with injuries, or the West becomes even more of a gauntlet in 3 years or 2 years. So I think this is a fair offer. Zaire Williams is promising, lengthy wing that can replace some of the things that OG Anunoby does for a cheaper cost. And DeAnthony Melton can back up both guard positions, basically playing mostly shooting guard, but he can play with Fred VanVleet and give them another option, especially if they want to try Scotty Barnes out with the ball. Because DeAnthony Melton is not a guy that's going to need the ball. Zaire Williams is not a guy that's going to need the ball. And, of course, they can keep Killian Tilly or they can cut him, waive him, whatever. So, yeah, that is the first rumor.
Look at all these rumors surrounding me every day.
Now, the second rumor is even more tasty and tantalizing for Grizzly fans because it involves one Mr. Kevin Durant. Now, if you haven't known, a couple days ago on Twitter, a Grizzly fan came on Twitter and just put out a little video, harmless tweet out there. He just heard something from someone who used to play in the NBA. He told me that he has heard rumors of KD trying to pair up with Ja in Memphis. And, among Grizzly fans, especially at this time of the year when there's nothing really going on, the draft is about a month away. The NBA Finals was in hiatus, had the gap in it. The Grizzlies were out of the playoffs. There's really nothing going on. So this kind of took fire and people, it became the talk of the town. Now, what made this have some legs on it is because of this. Kyrie in Brooklyn. Rumor has it that the Brooklyn Nets outright unwilling to give Kyrie Irving a long-term extension. Now, this is a report from NBC Sports, and this is, I guess, what you can say is they were saying that they kind of very iffy on giving him a long-term extension. And people were saying that might open him up to, going somewhere else because he has the ability to be an unrestricted free agent if he turns down his player option. So he can turn down his player option, become an unrestricted free agent, and sign with somebody else, and Brooklyn would get no compensation. Them are the breaks. But the other part of that in that article was that, Kevin Durant, Kevin Durant would be unhappy as far as, if they let Kyrie Irving go. They were saying that Kevin Durant, as you can see with this tweet, that Kevin Durant hasn't spoken with the Nets since the season ended, and things can get ugly if they don't re-sign Kyrie Irving. So, as fans with nothing to do on Twitter, we just put 2 + 2 together. We get 5, erase our work, and make it 4. So, we just make it work for our benefit and our fun. So I wanted to participate and say, what would I give for Kevin Durant to join the Memphis Grizzlies? So I came up with a trade. And here it is. Steven Adams, Dylan Brooks, DeAnthony Melton, Zaire Williams, Killian Tilly, a first-round pick in 23, the Warriors pick in 24, first-round pick in 25, another first-round pick in 27, top 3 protected, and, of course, the pick swap in 2028, where the Nets would be able to get a pick swap from the Grizzlies, and that is 6 years down the line. So, by that time, I think KD's 33, so by that time, KD would be gone. But the Grizzlies will still have, remnants of their young core. They should still have, 6 years down the road, they might not have Jaren because Jaren's contract will be out, but they'll still have Desmond Bane and Ja Morant. So, hey, would you take this chance on Kevin Durant? Kevin Durant is one of the top 5 players in the NBA. It would give you a lineup of Ja Morant, Desmond Bane, Kevin Durant, Jaren Jackson, Brandon Clark. That would be your starting 5, and you can fill in the pieces. You still have the ability to bring back Tyus Jones, Kyle Anderson. You would still have John Conchar on the team. So that gives you a nice little tidy 8-man rotation. And if you got Kevin Durant, Ja Morant, Desmond Bane, and Jaren Jackson, you should always have 2 of them at least on the floor at the same time. So that should be able to cover your scoring. And you would still have other avenues like the mid-level exception and other things like that to bring in some depth pieces to go with this team. So let me know, how would you like it if the Grizzlies did make this was their big move? You know, we talked about that in another video, making a big move. Now, I really don't expect the Grizzlies to do any of these offers, neither one of them. I just wanted to speculate and talk about it because it is go time for the Memphis Grizzlies. It is not, show and prove time. It is not gather information time. It is not develop players time. The Grizzlies are, from this point on, trying to win an NBA title. Every move they make should be to make that happen, and they should be able to do it as soon as next season. Now, we look at what's in the finals now, the Warriors and the Celtics. Now, as a Grizz fan in my heart, I think healthy, if the Grizzlies were healthy and the Warriors were healthy, that matchup was a toss-up. It was going to go to Game 7, I think, and it was going to be a toss-up. Now, I would think the Grizzlies would win because of Ja Morant and his ability to close out games and series. So that is just my feeling on it, and I think the Grizzlies really missed the opportunity here to